Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Impact Review, February 28th. Oh, we got actually a very interesting Impact. Really surprising. We had some good things in it, some things I'm tired of, but some stuff that pissed the shit out of me, and things that just made me beyond happy. Now, one of the things I'm not too interested in, I wish it could be done something better, and that is the knockouts. Right now, the way the knockouts division is, it is extremely empty. It's stale. There's no storylines. There's almost nobody there. We only see maybe Miss Tessmacher. We don't see Mickie Jane. We see Gail Kim. We see Tara. And we see Velvet Sky. That's what I've been seeing. Now, the match between Velvet Sky and I can say that Tara's red top looked nice. She just shows off her curves so well. And I said it before, I think Tara had a boob job. I'm probably wrong about it because I think she's been wearing much more tighter clothes than usual. Or the colors she's been using have been accentuating her breasts. You tell me down below, do you believe that she had a boob job or not? Because she looked like she's got bigger boobs than normal. Like she saw Velvet and said, "Hey Vel, come here. You know, I like how your boobs look. Who's your doctor? I want to make mine a little bigger." That's what I was getting from it. But the match itself really, it was a standard match. It was. I didn't feel any excitement. Seeing Gail Kim, the one that's going to be going after Velvet, does not fill me with confidence. It doesn't. Even if Velvet retains, which is not a bad thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mind Velvet Sky retaining the belt. There are very few people that we have to work with. And Gail Kim is not one of the best people to put as the Knockouts champion. It's not. She's not the best person. But you know what? It's better to have Velvet as a champion for now than having Gail Kim. So I'm hoping they're not going to hand the belt over to her. Let Velvet have the belt for a while. I wouldn't mind it. At least for now. Until we can work out what needs to be done for the Knockouts division. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to say my feelings about Gut Check. Because I liked Gut Check, but I want to save that for later. Now, the opening of the show with Hardy and Bully Ray. It wasn't bad. I mean, look, Bully Ray isn't very great when it comes to being an actor. He's not. Hardy's not that bad of a talker. He isn't. Both of them in their roles, when Bully Ray is an evil, hell of a nasty heel, and Hardy as a good guy, they both do their jobs well. Do I believe Bully Ray did a good job here? Not that great. He's not a better face than he is a heel. He's not. Let's be honest. Bully Ray last year in 2012 was a monster heel that we all liked. In the beginning of 2011, no, the middle of 2011 to 12, not many people cared much about him. But by the middle of 2012 into the end of 2012, he was over as a monster heel. And then he went to betweener to a face. He did a good face turn. For him, that is a very good face turn. It is. But does that mean he's a good talker as a face? No. I really believe he's a great talker when he's a heel. But at this moment, he's a face. I'm going to take it for what it is. He's better than he would have been years ago as a face. It looks like at least he's worked on his face work. I'm not saying it's great work, but it's alright. Hardy does what Hardy does. People love him. They got great cheers in the Impact Zone. I wish to say that Impact Zone was a little more lively than normal. Canned Heat was in there. It's obvious. But at least they were a little more livelier than normal. And that made me happy. At least until they get their asses out of there after the 14th. Thank you, gods of TNA. Thank you, Hulk Hogan. My Lord Hulk Hogan, I thank you. You are the Shogun of TNA. I thank you. But it gets a little more interesting later in that segment when Bad Influence comes out and they get a match. Now, I can say that I wasn't thinking that Bad Influence versus Hardy and Bully Ray was going to be bad. I thought it might be a decent match. And it was. We had a very good match. Bad Influence is very good. Hardy and Bully Ray, they're not too bad. Both of them are good tag team technicians. They didn't forget the skills. So they were able to work pretty well. So do I believe they're going to have a good match at Lockdown? I'm going to leave that for my predictions. But I can say the match itself was okay. Bad Influence was good. I enjoyed them. Hardy and Bully Ray, they worked pretty well. And Hardy had to win over Daniels. Had to. Because that was his rival. So we leave it at that. Now, Sting segments with Magnus, with Matt Morgan. I'm about to say Hardy. Sorry, Matt Morgan, as well as for Joseph Park. And I'm gonna start with Joseph Park first. That was some funny shit. And Sting said, "Do you understand what it means to get a rib?" Now I haven't learned that bit yet myself. I gotta try and find out what a rib means in wrestling. But you know what? If anyone knows, tell me below, please. But seeing him, and I'm talking about Joseph Park, come in with a big load of ribs and saying basically this is my lunch. Dude, that was so funny. The guy is doing great in this character. I love the Joseph Park character. I don't miss Abyss that much. Eventually he must come back. But seeing this, I enjoyed the hell out of that segment. And now that we know that Sting is going to bring in Joseph Park for Lockdown, that's good. Next is Magnus. And I believe the one who shined the best was Magnus. When he talked that I came into 22 and you mentored me and I've been here all these years, I want to step up and I want to prove to you I'm the best. You trying to consider, should I be a part of it? I say, why you need to consider? Why shouldn't I be in it? And then he walks away. That was a good segment for Magnus. I am glad they're showing Magnus, and I hope they continue showing Magnus. Magnus has the size. He has good in-ring skills. For a big guy, he's not great. He's not like an X Division guy, but he's a big guy. He can move decently well in the ring. He has some good in-ring presence. I would like him to get a little bit more skills as a technical wrestler. But he's good on the mic. He has a good in-ring presence. He has good, decent in-ring work. And, oh, that's my floor, sorry. And I can tell you simply, I would not mind him in the main event scene. Really, I wouldn't. Then there's Matt Morgan. And I was happy and upset at the same time. We haven't seen Matt in at least maybe 2 months. Someone correct me down there in the comment section. I haven't seen him in roughly almost 2 months, at least. It could have been more than that, but I haven't seen him for at least 2 months. What the hell? You bring him in now, where he could be added to Aces and Eights? Are you kidding me? He should have been added months ago. For him to say no now makes me really feel that he may be joining Aces and Eights. I'll be glad if he's not. It would be making some sense to have him join Aces and Eights. But I'm telling you this now, ladies and gentlemen. If he was the best person to join Aces and Eights, he should have been a part of it 4 to 5 months ago. At least 4 months ago. Last year. Let him join Aces and Eights. He's a big-ass man. And he should have been a part of it. But they never made him join. No Joey Ryan. No Matt Morgan. And now out of the blue, they show Matt Morgan saying no. It's a possibility he may join Aces and Eights. I'm hoping not, because it's too late for that now. Yeah, he could join it and they would have more muscle. But look how many people you got on Aces and Eights now. I don't want to see more people on Aces and Eights. I want to either slim them down or get rid of them. The Aces and Eights segment sucks. It upsets me. That's why I'm botching. They had a perfect opportunity with Aces and Eights, and they could have let Matt Morgan join instead of having who? Mikey? Mike Knox? Seriously? I don't mind Mike Knox. He wasn't that bad in WWE. But you got a viable talent already on the roster that should have been put on Aces and Eights, but instead you put Mike Knox in this position. You could have brought Mike Knox in as a new talent. You didn't need him to come in that way. I would have rather seen Matt Morgan. Now, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going to say this now. Our new X Division champion is the great king of professional wrestling, Kenny King, yeah! I am happy to see Kenny King as X Division champion. It's long overdue. The segment before the match with Kenny King saying that I am the X Division is true. He's the only one that's seen 90% of the time for the X Division next to Rob Van Dam. It's not a lie. And then that little stipulation they both came to, saying basically, Kenny, you want to prove that you're the best? Beat me and take this title. I'll give you this last shot. But if you lose, you're out of the X Division. That means he's out of TNA. So I'm thinking, oh please, this is stupid. You could have just let him have the belt earlier. There's no hyping for this. This could have gone on lockdown if they'd hyped it properly. But they didn't. I'm happy Kenny King won the match. Yes, I'm happy he won it. And I'm happy he got the belt. But you couldn't have made this into a lockdown match. You couldn't have gone to Hulk Hogan and say, Hulk, I'm sick of this guy. This is Rob Van Dam. I want to give him one last shot at lockdown where he will get his shot one more time. And if he loses, make him leave TNA. Make him leave the X Division. Make him leave me alone. I would have liked that. Having it on free TV, I really felt was not necessary. They could have easily hyped this up. Leave 5 or 10 minutes in the show for the next couple of weeks leading the lockdown where we would have something good. But we didn't get that. It felt like a hollow victory for Kenny King because he could have had a pay-per-view win, but instead he has a television win. It upset me. So I'm just going to take it for what it is. I'm at least glad that he's got the title. It's better to put it on someone who's a viable talent than someone who really doesn't want to do anything like No Job Rob. Now, I can say that the Austin Aries and Supermet Hernandez wasn't a bad match. Seeing Austin Aries talking on the phone, Robert Roode, hey, where are you? We're at our photo shoot. I'm waiting at our photo shoot. I'm not worrying about those two stereotypicals in a match with me. Come on, I can take them both on. And as he gets off the phone, what do we get? The stereotypicals right there. And instead of it being Chavo, which I'm thankful for, it was Supermet. And finally, Supermet said something. Finally. And I got to look up what he just said because it is rare to hear him say anything. See you there, champ. It felt good to hear Hernandez talk. I've seen Hernandez talk before when he was in the WWE. He doesn't talk often. It's very rare. As a strong silent type character, it carried over to TNA and he's still holding it that. But he has a presenting voice. He has a voice that could actually resonate. When TNA started back in 05 and 06, when he was there, and I believe it was LAX, when he was doing that bit, because he'd been around a while, he spoke, and he spoke pretty well. So why the fuck they don't let him talk more, or someone, if anyone in TNA sees this, look, we know he can talk. Either force his ass to talk more often or allow him to talk, because he could probably bring those stereotypicals up a little bit, because I'm tired of hearing Chavo. Chavo is not a bad talker. He can talk, but I want to hear his partner talk. That may actually bring up their tag team if they're going to keep him tagged for a while. So, the match itself wasn't bad. Seeing Austin Aries have to cheat. Excuse me, still kind of sick. I keep getting sick with this crazy weather over here in New York. The weather keeps changing, makes you sick. It sucks. But anyway, Superman did a good job with Austin Aries, but I wish to say that I was actually surprised to see him change his trunks. He had the long trunks that were like shorts, and that kind of looked good on him. Seeing him in regular wrestling trunks, to me, doesn't really look that well for him. It really didn't. I wouldn't have minded he changed the trunk to a Mexican type of trunks, the long ones, the short trunks. But having it like that, just, he doesn't look right. He looks like, what? Like a cartoon wrestler, sort of. Tell me what you think about him having changed his ring attire. Because I really believe he was better the way he was before. He could have changed the color of those long short trunks. But that way just didn't seem right. And just like I said, Austin Aries did win by cheating, which I didn't mind. He's got to stay in character. Now I can't wait to see him doing something with Robert Roode. I'm hoping for it. Now, the next thing. The segment with Sting telling everybody who his partners are for Team TNA versus Aces and 8 in Lockdown. And we already know it's Magnus, Samoa Joe, James Storm, and Showtime, Eric Young. I can say one thing. He does not have the belt. I believe they retired the Knockouts belts. Finally, the tag team Knockouts belts look like they've been retired because he didn't come out in it. He came out all business. He came out to kick some ass, which he did. Which filled me with some joy here. I mean, look, we've seen Eric Young for many years. He could wrestle. He does a good job. He's very funny when he does it right. But when is the last time we saw him serious? Really serious. Not having a stupid character thing. Quite a while. So if they're changing his character to a much more serious character, I won't mind it. The person that was most surprising here was Eric Young. I mean, I expected Storm to be there because he got messed with Aces and 8. I expected Magnus and Joe, and both of them looked at each other like, you over here? Yeah, I'm over here. Alright, for now, we're a team. I'm going to kick your ass later. That's Joe, I'm saying. That's Joe. But let's put it simply. The person I felt that really shined the most, even though it was brief, was Eric Young. No tag team Knockouts belt. Came in all serious, ready to fight. I know it sounds like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. No, it's better to see him that way. I wanted to see him like that. Because now, maybe we'll get a storyline with him that could be interesting. He'll still probably be dealing with ODB, yes. But maybe it'll be something more serious. Something that we can really get behind. Because they don't have that many storylines in TNA right now. Now, the AJ segment. I can say seeing his wife, his kids, and his friend wasn't bad. It's not something that hasn't been done before. Seeing him really unshaven and just grizzled was a nice touch. Now the question is, what the hell are they doing with him? Are they going to bring him back as a heel? Are they going to bring him back as he was as a face? Is he going to come back with a mouthpiece? A manager? I believe that they might bring him back like a Jack Swagger. Have him with a manager. I know that sounds like we don't need one for AJ. Normally, no. But what have they been doing with AJ? Not much. I wouldn't mind having AJ Styles come back with a mouthpiece. Something different. Maybe a little twist on what's going on with WWE and Jack Swagger with Zed. I know that's reaching, but it'll be something a little fresh for us in TNA. Maybe they'll do something with a totally different twist. Or maybe he may come back as someone who just talks instead of wrestling for a while. Might be something different. I'm hoping they do something different with AJ Styles. Something that's fresh and new. It doesn't have to be with a mouthpiece. It could be something. I want to see AJ prominently featured. He is the face of TNA. If you don't believe he is, he is. They built the entire show around him. And he has delivered for many years, doing a great job as their head of the show. I'm just hoping to do something with him because for the last 3 years, since 2010, the show sucked and he suffered. So I'm hoping it'll work out. Now I'm getting to the good part that's in the title. E.T. Robbie E. Robbie T. at Lockdown. I'll probably put it like that, or say the ETs at Lockdown, or a match with the ETs. Whatever. I haven't figured out the title yet. I'm still thinking about it. But seeing Robbie E come to the ring, trying to get Robbie T back, I admit at first I'm going like, oh my God, come on. I thought this was not going to happen. I thought they were going to finally break up. And then seeing Robbie T do the dance, and I could see the minute he said, why don't you do your dance? Come on, bro. And I'm going like, oh, he's about to attack him. Please let him attack. And what did he do? He took his own picture and whacked him on the top of the head. And what did Rob Terry do? And I believe this is a perfect touch. This might actually be shockingly, a possible sleeper hit. Seeing Rob Terry get up after getting this thing wrapped around his head, coming out all cock diesel going, ah! Seeing this made me happy. One, you're separating two guys who've been together for 2 years where the teaming up didn't really do much. If it was supposed to get them both over, they didn't do it properly on television. They did it on their website or on YouTube. You need to have both of these guys, if you want to get them over properly, on television and structure them properly. They never did. You could see the list that was on their YouTube channel. You could see them from time to time doing something on the TNA website, but it was never anything interesting on the show. So seeing this makes me very happy. You know why? You're splitting off Robbie E from Robbie T. Robbie E is an enhanced jobber. We need him by himself to job for people and try to be as interesting as possible to get really good newcomers over with great talent. We need Rob Terry out of there because, look, Rob Terry between 2008 to 2010, he was getting somewhere. By 2010 almost, he was already the television champion. He was meant to be groomed to go into the main event by my humble perspective, ladies and gentlemen. But then when the Immortal segment came around, what did we get? He fell, hit the ground, and went to China. Then he was paired up with Robbie E. That's what happened to Rob Terry. So seeing these two break apart is perfect. And seeing that match, like I said, this could be a sleeper hit. I'm not saying the match is going to be great. We could be surprised. It could be. But the point is separating two people who should never been put together in the beginning, seeing them finally split, even if the match is shit, it'll still be good because we're finally going to get the jobber we need and Robbie E. And we could get a main eventer if he's pushed properly and Robbie T. That's what I'm hoping for. I am looking forward to this match in Lockdown. If no one is looking forward, leave a comment below. Tell me the reason why you think Robbie E and Robbie T should not have a match at Lockdown. Tell me why these two should not even be thought of. But I'm saying it clearly. We need our jobber and we need a main eventer. And we've gotten both of them. Split their asses off and let them have a match at Lockdown and end it. That's what I want, baby. Now, I am going to put in the angle, attack, and the clubhouse, and seeing who the VP is. We know after the attack when how can I say this? After the segment in the ring, and you see Angle at the end of the show go into the clubhouse, kick the ass of Anderson, kick the ass of Devon, and then hit on the head of the vice president, a bottle. I just love that candy glass. But taking the mask off, we still don't know who it is, but we do know he's white. He's a white man. We do know that. He's not black. So it's not Dino Brown. It's not D'Lo Brown. It would have been interesting if it was him. But when you saw his hand of his sleeve, he was light-skinned. Now that could be the Abyss. That could be Joseph Park. We don't know. But it's not the point. The point is that it looks like they're finally going to show the vice president at Lockdown. Or maybe the next show. Never know. I believe it's going to be Lockdown. So I'm hoping that this will finally bring out the president by the next pay-per-view. I know you're saying, we don't want to wait that long. I know. But let's put it in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. We need to. They've been stuck with this thing for several months. They've been doing this several months. It sucks, but it's what they got. So I'm going to just go with what I got. I got a terrible storyline that needs to end. And if they're structuring a 4 pay-per-view a year show, They're going to do this within 2 pay-per-views, by my perspective. So somewhere in the middle of the month, middle of the year, we're going to get probably the president's revealing. Because I'm sure lockdown, we're going to see the vice president. It's going to happen. We're going to see him. So I'm hoping this will be over by near the middle to the end of this year. 8 and 8 will be gone. So that's my beautiful, happy moment. Now the final thing I want to talk about is the gut check with Leah, what is her name? With Eva Les. I'm just going to say the first name because I can't pronounce the last name. Eva Les versus Leda Tappa. Both their segments were good segments leading up to their match. But I believe Leda Tappa, who is from Tonga, or I don't believe her, I could be pronouncing the island wrong. It probably is Tonga, but it's probably Thunga. It's hard to pronounce it. I don't speak Samoan. But seeing these 2 segments, Lady Tappa was a better segment. I believed it was a better segment. She spoke much more eloquently. She had more emotion. And I'm not saying that Elise didn't have a good emotion, but it felt more genuine with Lady Tappa. And then seeing Leda Tappa come to the ring and saying Elise, which is, she was smaller than Terrence Terrell. Whew, small woman. But Leda Tappa is a big ass woman. Shit! She's a big fucking woman. And she's a beautiful woman. She looks good. She's a beautiful woman in the face. She has a nice body. And she's a fucking monster. Like Awesome Kong. I don't understand why they let Elise win. Evilise, sorry, not Elise. Evilise win. Why did they let her win? Yes, I understand she has an MMA background. But who do you need more in the Knockouts division? Do you need another small Spanish woman? I'm not being racist. Look, how many Spanish women do you have in TNA? You have Tara, Miss Tessmacher. Who else? Come on. Sarita. I believe Sarita. No, what is her name? Hendricks. I believe she's also Spanish. Or SoCal Val. I could also be wrong. I believe she's, either one of them could be Spanish. I think one of them is. But they've been hiring a lot of Spanish wrestlers. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not being racist, ladies and gentlemen. But let's be honest here. You need a variety. And they do not have anyone other than Samoa Joe, who is from the islands of Samoa. Look, let's be honest here. She is the niece of Barbarian. They were the best tag teams around. They had their moments where they weren't great, but I remember seeing them. Come on. Barbarian was a great wrestler. I liked him. And now seeing his niece, who is a big fucking woman and a good looking woman, she could take the place of Awesome Kong. She could take the place of Awesome Kong. Come on. We don't have a huge woman wrestler anymore. WWE lost her because of the miscarriage, which I really feel bad about Karma. She had lost her baby. And that's the reason why she isn't wrestling anymore. Because she wants to do something to make sure that doesn't happen again. And it's a great cause. But it really was a loss for wrestling because we don't have big women in wrestling anymore. What is the largest women we had? ODB. We got Beth Phoenix. We got Natalya. And that's mainstream. I'm not talking about the indies. And I know there are big women in the indies. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think I don't know there are good women that are great wrestlers in the indies. But here's the thing. We're not talking about the indies. We're talking about prime time television. And those women need an opponent that won't just be credible, but be destructive. That's the reason why Karma was hired by the WWE. They needed Karma to try and revitalize their Divas division. Karma leaving the Knockouts division was actually a hurting. It hurt it. And now we have Leda Tappa. Yes, 2 years. She's green as fucking hell. And I'm hoping beyond anything she will go to OVW, maybe stay there for a year, and then come back. We need her. We need that type of woman in TNA. She will dominate the Knockouts division and make it more interesting than the Divas. The Divas will go bye-bye. And next to that, she's so fucking good looking. If anyone doesn't think she's good looking, leave a comment down below. But she look good. She ain't no Naomi, but she look good. What is my rating for this show? B-. Seeing that Kenny King won, and then seeing Lady Tappa, and now the vice president being somewhat revealed, that shows they're doing progression. Robbie E.T. being separated, I am thankful to the TNA Shogun, who is Hulk Hogan. Almighty Shogun, I thank you. Thank you very much for Robbie E.T. being broken away. Thank you. That is my rating, B-. And I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Subscribe and comment to my channel. And I'm sorry this is a little long. It is long. I'm sorry. But I had to voice my opinion on this stuff. Have a good day.